Despite inflation and economic uncertainty, restaurant stocks are producing impressive results and delivering value for shareholders with high yields. As the industry returns to normalized traffic, revenue and earnings are well above pre pandemic levels and growing. Let's dive into the details and see why restaurant stocks are worth your attention. Thomas, restaurant stocks seem to be immune to the issues other sectors are experiencing. There has to be more to that, though, than just people needing to eat, right? So, why are restaurant stocks so popular? Is this considered a safe haven kind of sector right now, or what are the other factors in play?
Yeah, I wouldn't say so much that they're popular right now, but they've been performing well and the analysts are noticing, and that's got the share prices moving higher. And there's a couple of names that are on track to set new highs. I also wouldn't call restaurants really a safe haven. They're pretty vulnerable to economic
Mhm.
changes, but the rebound story in restaurant stocks is still playing out. They didn't start their rebound when the rest of the economy did because we were all pretty hesitant to go to restaurants. Nobody wanted to go out. So it's taken their rebound longer to get started, and they're still on the upswing where the broader economy has peaked or else has started to contract a little bit.
All right, so Thomas, as our regular viewers know by now, dividends are a big part of your stock picking strategy. Can you tell us the kind of things that you're looking for and where you find the data that's important to evaluate?
Right. Well, all the data you need is at MarketBeat. The tools there are great. But for me, I look for yield first. The S&P
Okay.
500 is my benchmark, and it yields about 1.5%. So anything above that is pretty good. But the company needs to be producing cash and profits, and with an outlook for profit growth, that's helpful, especially for sustainability of the yield. I like the distribution to be growing. When the distribution is growing, you get a better yield on investment over time. It also helps cut down on volatility because it attracts more buy and hold investors. And then there's also the value. And then there's two ways to look at the value. Is the stock just inexpensive to buy relative to the broad market, or is it actually a deep value and cheap relative to its peers? And in the first case, if a stock is trading at a lower valuation than the broad market and paying a similar or better yield, that's a good value. You pay less for the same yield. But it's even better if a stock is undervalued relative to its peers, because then you might also get a multiple expansion to help juice your returns.
All right, so you're chasing the ever elusive high yield stocks. What makes a high yield stock, say, compared to a dividend that isn't high yield? Doesn't that directly relate to the share price, or what if the stock price is fluctuating too much?
Well, yeah, yield is definitely relative to the stock price. And like I said, it's also relative to the broad market and to peers. So, I mean, to put a number on it, a high yield stock
Mhm.
might be better than 3%, but
Okay.
high yield might also be 1.5% if that's the best yield the sector offers. And it just depends for income investors, which sectors you're looking at. If you're
Mhm.
looking at high yield sectors, you're going to want to look at things like maybe utilities and energy and staples versus some other sectors that tend to pay lower yields.
All right, can you give us three stocks right now that come up on your screens that maybe investors should be directing their attention to?
Right. So there's three restaurant stocks, really four that I've been looking at now. That's Texas Roadhouse, Darden, Ruths, and Bloomin Brands. And let's
Okay.
pull up the charts for a second, right?
Yep, let's see them.
All right. Well, starting with Texas Roadhouse, this is the group leader. It doesn't really trade at a value, and it's got a better yield than the broad market, but it's not the highest yield in this group. But results were good. The analysts are talking favorably about it. The stock is trending higher, and it's on track for a new all-time high. Um, Technically speaking, when a stock hits a new all-time high, that can be a trigger for buying, and that could send it up to even higher highs. All right. Darden. Darden is a better value and a higher yield. They're actually outperforming the sector. They also reported very well, and the analysts are also pushing this stock to new highs. Its consensus estimates are in new all-time high territory. So really right now, we're just waiting for this one to continue doing its thing and trending higher to new highs. The next one is Ruth's Chris Steakhouse or Ruth Hospitality Group. This one has been underperforming the group. It's a small cap. It doesn't quite have the diversification of Darden, nor the middle class appeal of Texas Roadhouse. So it has been lagging, but it's reporting just as well as they are and providing favorable guidance. And the analysts are supporting the stocks. So I expect to see this one move higher as well. It might not get up to new all-time high territories, but a move from 15 to almost 28 is just about 100% gain. That's pretty good. And then finally, Bloomin Brands, which is more comparable to Texas Roadhouse and Darden, is also lagging both those stocks. It's also performing as well and also providing favorable guidance. It just raised dividend, and that should be a catalyst for the stock. So I see this one also trending higher to new all-time highs with the added advantage of some multiple expansion that should get returns up into the high double-digit range.
So there you have it. The restaurant industry continues to produce impressive results and deliver value for shareholders. Texas Roadhouse, Darden Restaurants, Ruths Hospitality Group, Bloomin Brands, just a few of the players defying the odds and thriving in today's market. Don't forget to check out the resources I've linked for you down below so you can learn how to find more stocks that offer value and high yield. Thanks. We'll see you soon.